Today, we are diving deep into China's massive AI Plus action plan. This isn't just another tech initiative, it's a full-blown national strategy to weave artificial intelligence into the very fabric of its society. You can think of it as the core blueprint for China's next big leap, and it's a huge piece of its 15th five-year plan.
So you gotta ask, why the huge push for AI right now? Well, the simple answer lies in this phrase from the official plan: the quest for new quality productive forces. See, China doesn't just see AI as a cool new gadget. They see it as the fundamental engine that's going to power the entire next phase of the country's growth and modernization.
Here's how we're going to break it all down for you. First, we'll look at the grand vision, the big picture. Then we'll get into the specific actions and the three cornerstones holding it all up. After that, we'll peek into the future they're planning for. And finally, we'll talk about what all of this really means for us.
So what's the end game here? What are they trying to achieve? Well, the AI Plus action plan lays out a super clear roadmap. And let me tell you, this isn't just about technology. It's about a complete and total transformation of society into what they're calling an intelligent economy and an intelligent society.
And they are not messing around when it comes to the timeline. Look at these targets. By 2027, just a few years away, they want AI deeply integrated everywhere, with over 70% of people using smart terminals like AI agents. Fast forward to 2030, and that number jumps to over 90%. And then, by 2035, the goal is to be fully living in this new intelligent era. That is an incredibly ambitious schedule.
All right, so the vision is huge, the timeline is aggressive, but how are they actually gonna do it? Well, the strategy is really structured. At its heart are what they call the 6 major actions, which are designed to push AI into 6 critical parts of the economy and society.
And when I say comprehensive, I mean it. Just look at this list. We're talking about everything from using AI to speed up scientific breakthroughs to completely overhauling industries, all the way to finding new ways to govern and even cooperate with other countries. It really touches on, well, everything. Let's just take industry for a second. The goal is this thing called full element intelligent development. Now, that's not just about adding a few robots to an assembly line. No way. This is not completely rethinking how things are designed, how they're made, and how they get to you, across manufacturing, farming, you name it. Now, on a personal level, this is where it gets really fascinating. The plan sees AI as a tool to make our daily lives better. Think about new ways of working with machines, education that's perfectly tailored to you, and AI helping out in healthcare. The stated goal is to create what the document actually calls a warmer, intelligent society. But here's the thing. A plan this massive, this ambitious, it needs a rock-solid foundation, right? You can't just snap your fingers and have an intelligent society. So, let's dig into how they plan to build this thing from the ground up. The entire strategy really rests on what you could call the 3 technological cornerstones of all modern AI. You've got computing power, you've got data, and you've got the algorithms and models. The plan is to strengthen all 3 of these pillars at the same time. First up, let's talk about computing power, or 算力 in Chinese. This is the raw horsepower you need to train and run these massive AI models. And it's now being treated as a critical national resource, just like energy or water. It's that important. So to manage this new critical resource, the plan calls for a massive project, a nationwide integrated computing power network. The best way to think about it is like a national grid for electricity, but for computing power. The idea is to spread it out efficiently all over the country so it's cheap and available for everyone. And this right here, this one phrase, really sums up the whole philosophy. Computing power is national power. This shows you just how deeply processing capability has been tied to national strength and strategic thinking. It's a huge shift. Okay, so building the foundation for today's AI is one thing, but this strategy is also looking way, way down the road. It's not just about using what we have now, it's about actively trying to invent what comes next, while also trying to solve the massive challenge of controlling these powerful new tools. I mean, the plan straight up names several future industries it wants to dominate, and this is where it starts to sound like science fiction. We're talking about embodied intelligence, which is basically putting advanced AI brains into robot bodies, and even exploring direct brain-computer interfaces. Yeah, linking human brains directly to machines. Now, this slide points out a really fascinating balancing act. On one hand, the strategy is pushing for these wild, radical innovations, but at the exact same time, it's calling for a strong system of governance. It's this constant push and pull.
How do you go full steam ahead on innovation without creating risks you can't control? The goal, in their own words, is to make sure AI is safe, reliable, and controllable.
All right, so we've covered the high-level strategy, the national networks, the sci-fi tech, but what does this all boil down to for you and me? What does it mean for our jobs, our skills, and just our everyday lives?
Probably the best way to wrap your head around this whole shift is to stop thinking of AI as a product and start thinking of it like electricity. It's not something you just buy. It's the fundamental utility that's going to power everything else in society.
And that means huge changes for all of us. The way we work, the way we learn, our daily routines. All of it could be fundamentally different. There's going to be a huge demand for new skills. Some people are even talking about an AI quotient, or AIQ, like a new kind of intelligence we'll all need to have to work alongside these systems. And that really leaves us with this one big question to chew on. As this blueprint becomes a reality, we're looking at more than just a technological revolution, it's a societal one. It forces all of us to ask, once AI is as common and as essential as electricity, how will our world and our place in it be fundamentally changed forever?